Good evening, and thank you for joining us this evening for our Village of Alsip committee meeting. Today is Monday, January 27th, 2025, and we'll call this meeting in order at 7:31 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Delzo?
Here.
Trustee Juarez-Mendoza is absent. Trustee McClellan? Here. Trustee Murphy?
Here.
Trustee Navas-Barza? Here. Trustee Peretta is absent. Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we start our reports this evening, we're going to have a bid opening, and this is for copiers and printer services for the certain offices within the village.
All right, so we got two bids. One of them was just emailed, so I don't physically have anything to open. But I don't remember if the bid bond was in here.
I believe in the packet too, we did say email was okay on this.
Yeah, one dropped off and one emailed,
Okay.
so I don't think there is a bid bond in here. Yeah, there's no bid bond in this one. This one is looking at a 60-month lease at $438 a month. This is for Proven It.
IT, yep.
And then the second part I wasn't too clear on, but I'm sure Brian would understand better. It says service is $780, and it says 36 months, but then it says base monthly and overage quarterly. So I really don't know what that means.
So what it was is, we were looking at, just off the top of my head, the bid spec was for 60 months to lease 2 copier printers.
Okay.
So they're saying, you said it was $435?
Yeah, $438 a month for the
$438.
60-month lease.
And then
There's a service thing. I just don't know if it's $780 monthly, quarterly. It didn't really explain it in
I'm going to
here.
say that's monthly.
Okay.
And that's a 36-month service agreement.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
they'll service all of the existing printers here in the village. And I'll have to take a look and see if that includes any kind of toner products, but I believe that's just the service aspect.
Okay.
of it, too, yeah.
All right. So that was that one. And then the second one we got was from, where's my pen? From Sharp Business Systems. And I think these are all specs. I don't see a bid bond in this one, but again, I don't know if they asked for that, so that might be why it's not in here. So for this one, there's a monthly service for all copiers and printers and lease payment, and this would include everything. And this is $905 a month. That does not include taxes. And I don't see anything specifically on like a service agreement, so I'm not sure if that's included because none of this says anything about service. Yeah.
We'll have to defer to the IT department to review these.
Yeah, because this is just bid listed in here, so there's nothing else talking about services, so I don't know if that's included or not.
I'm not sure either, like, with what I'm reading here, if they're using the same copier products that were spec'd in the, in other words, I don't know if Brian allowed for other products similar to, so
Okay.
we'll have to find out.
Okay. So yeah, so those are the only two that we received.
Okay.
we have a copy of the bid specs that were sent out?
Yeah, it's actually in this binder. They included it.
But I think what Trustee Dalzell was saying is I don't know that the board saw the bid specs.
Oh, that I don't know.
Yes, we did, because we had the board approve it when it went out, but this should be in our, on our website too, and under RFP. You know what, Trustee, I'll send you a copy of that. Can you pull it up on your computer there?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. We'll have to get back in it and have him break it down and get back to the board with what he was able to confirm with each of those two bids. So we'll go to our officers' reports, starting with the clerks. Clerk Harding.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the presentation of the January 20th, 2025 board meeting minutes, and that is all I had, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. We don't need an attorney this evening. I didn't have anything from the engineer. Mike, did you have anything from him? No? All right, public forum. Did anyone in the audience wish to address the board this evening? Nobody? All right, thank you. We'll go on our standing committee reports, starting with Finance and IT. Trustee McLaughlin?
Thank you, Mayor. I will have the usual list of payroll and accounts payable for approval next week, and that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. Next, we have the Fire Committee report. Trustee Murphy?
Thank you, Mayor. We have the discussion on the disposal of truck 2014, a 2002 Seagrave ladder truck. Chief?
Hi. Hello. Our truck's been out of service for 7 months now. I know I brought it up several months ago about what are we going to do with it, and I haven't heard nothing from anybody. It's time to figure out what we're going to do with this thing. We had one department that was close to buying it to replace their ladder. It was Louisville. It's actually funny because they actually reached out to me today if we still have our ladder, so I don't know what their interest is in it. My suggestion, if we don't hear anything from them in a couple weeks, post it on govdeals.com and get rid of it. It's not usable as a ladder truck because it can't be drivable. It's not going to pass the test, or I should say the certification test for it. Just get rid of this thing. It's sitting right now. Opus has been very cordial in letting us store it in there. It was only supposed to be a temporary basis. Well, temporary has been 3.5 months so far. They haven't asked to get it out there, but if they start getting a tenant in there, we're going to have to figure out what else to do with this thing. If nothing comes out, govdeals.com, find out what it's worth in scrap metal. It's about all we can do with it. We're not going to recoup the cost that we put into the ladder. There's no way you're going to do it. Even with Louisville, if we would have got 30 grand, it would have been pretty good at that point. Something's better than nothing. Right now, it's just sitting there doing nothing. Market's not going to get any better for it. So,
Chief, I left my list on my desk, but I saw about 6 different fire apparatus auction houses. I know you got Gov Deals. Does it make a difference who you go with?
No, not really. If anybody buys it, they'll buy it for scrap. I mean, the only thing that's worth on anything is the ladder. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to replace it there, you have to use the exact same ladder. You can't use a different manufacturer, different right. specification on a ladder. So it has to be that specification. Just the way the apparatus works, and especially for the certification process.
Yeah, some of the apparatuses I saw in there, they're not even. At least ours in 02, I saw stuff in there from the early 90s.
Oh yeah, you'll see stuff go all the way back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's time to figure out what we're doing with this thing and move on it. So, my suggestion is see what plays out with Louisville first. Give them a couple weeks. If not, go to govdeals.com. If nothing happens in a month, and then see what it's worth in scrap metal and be done with it.
Do they come out and appraise that?
Govdeals.com? I don't know. I've never used them before. I have to look into it. It's probably whatever best offer that's out there. I don't know. I don't know nothing about it, so I've never used it.
Is that kind of a, Chief Miller, is that kind of an eBay thing, or are we just throwing a number at it?
Yeah, you could set a minimum bid on it, or whatever the minimum is that you're willing to accept for it. So if it doesn't hit that mark, by people bidding, then you get it returned to you, and you could reset the bid or
Okay.
start over.
Okay.
If that's the case, I do the same thing, set it for 30,000 and go from there and see if there's any bites on it after that.
Well, it's nice here, the department near Louisville was still interested. There
Yeah.
must be something
Yeah,
there.
we'll see if they get back to me. It's kind of interesting. It just happens to be on the day that I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, but it's okay. But that'd be great. If they want to take it, that's great. At least we can get something for it. If not,
Right.
see what's out there. But yeah, we need to move on it. Like I said, sooner or later they're going to tell us to get rid of it, and then we got to figure out where else we're going to put it.
Right.
So we want to try to keep it indoors, at least preserve it in case somebody does want it. Like I said, unfortunately, we can't, and we have to disclose also that the frame rails are bad on there and can't be used as an in-service truck, so.
Right. Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Did we consider putting it in the municipal auction, or would that just not qualify because of the condition?
I think Gov Deals is kind of the same difference, isn't it, or no?
Yeah, you have a bigger audience with Gov Deals.
That's, Trustee Murphy, that's what police department uses. Jay, that's what you use all the time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you have more of a view with them,
Okay.
more people looking at that.
Do you know how often they run their thing?
I know nothing about
Is it like
so.
eBay, or is it?
You can put it up at any time.
Okay. Run it for 10 days and see if I can get any bites on it, or?
Take pictures of it. I think it's 2 weeks now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can do that. I mean, at least it's something, we're moving on it, and hopefully we get something and get rid of it.
Why don't we hear, it's okay with everybody, wait a couple of weeks and see if your tentative
Yeah.
offer, if they come up with something, and
I'll bring it back
and then
again.
we'll bring it
This
up
is,
at the next committee meeting to,
They've already expressed an interest in it from length of time ago.
Well, what happened with that one is one of their other trucks went out of service, so they were able to transfer the ladder over, like right before they were looking at what they can do with ours, so I'm hoping another one broke and they can use our ladder. I mean, hate to say it that way, but,
Right.
yeah. I mean, if we
Change
can
it
help
so,
them, that's
you know.
great, and we can make some money out of it, that's great too, and get rid of it.
If we're looking to dispose of it, then why wouldn't we advertise now? And if they're interested, then they've got that opportunity, and if they're not, then it's
We could always
it's
take
already
it off.
started.
I agree.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, Chief, can you get some great pictures of that?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I got pictures when I sent, when we posted it last time on another website,
Okay.
so, yep,
All right,
yep, we will do that.
all right.
and that's all I have, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have the Police and Traffic Safety Report. Trustee Dalzell.
Nothing for this evening's meeting, but Chief?
I just wanted to take a second to, hopefully everybody saw the camera trailer when you came in the lot today.
Yeah, you can't miss it out there.
There's nothing going on. I just wanted to show it off. That was compliments of the Illinois Attorney General Retail Crime Grant Program that we applied for about 6 months ago. And Brian has done a great job of putting some finishing touches on it as far as we ordered our own cameras to kind of get a better quality camera than what was going to come with it for less cost. So he was out there last week in the garage and getting everything set up. So we have a little bit of training to do and some testing to do with it. But in the next few weeks, we'll start rolling it around to different businesses in town, Home Depot, Jewel, Food for Less, even some of the industrial areas if they're starting to have issues over there. So I look forward to it's a great tool, so we look forward to that. And then the only other thing I had was I was working with the village attorney to modify ordinance 2025-0101, which we just passed a couple weeks ago. The modification is along the lines of stating that whenever an officer of rank is on extended retirement, that position will not count toward the allotted manpower. When we did the ordinance a couple of weeks ago, we created a seventh position
Overlap, yeah.
for somebody who's never coming back. So this is a way around that, so we don't have to keep going back and forth, because right now we have a vacant deputy chief position and a vacant sergeant position, which filling those spots is going to create 2 more vacancies. And unfortunately, or fortunately, this is going to be a repeating occurrence through 2027, 2028. So to alleviate me having to go back and forth with the board and to appease the Fire and Police Commission's wishes, I've been working with Mike Ankar to have that ordinance hopefully next week for you guys.
We have to eliminate the date stipulations in it then, too, don't we?
Correct. Yeah, it'll be like the ordinance, like kind of like it was, like it's going to be 2 lines, and it's just going to say like when those officers are out on early retirement that they don't count towards manpower. However, if somebody's off on medical or something like that, obviously that doesn't affect those positions.
Okay.
Both fire and police are going to have to answer the same issue.
Could.
No, I definitely agree with that, Chief. I mean, you know, I know the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners, they're just trying to follow the ordinance that says you've got this many sergeants, this many, you know, and I get it, you know, rather than just saying you're in, you're out, just as you just said, we can fill a position without having to acknowledge that ordinance there. But because of this, right?
But isn't it the village board sets forth the staffing levels? It's the Fire and Police Commission, it's their responsibility to hire, promote, fire.
Right.
The numbers, it's the board that authorizes the position.
Right.
So I don't understand why we would have to modify this to facilitate Fire and Police Commission. It's outside of their purview.
I think they're just keying in on, like I said, the total number of personnel, you know.
It is
that kind of thing.
outside of the purview. Fire and Police Commission is very specific about their authorization, their rules. Hire, fire, promote.
But how I said this, so it's just another layer, well, let's put it this way, it's 2 different bodies, but if you said we have 6 sergeants, if they just arbitrarily hired 8, you know, I mean,
Well, they can't go past what the village board authorizes.
yeah, I don't know, they were just trying to follow, all I know is they were just trying to follow
Oh, no, I
what was
appreciate
established,
them.
yeah.
The double check of it.
Yeah. But no, that sounds fine.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. Anything else, trustee?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay. Where are we at? Public Work, thank you. Public Work and Boat Launch Committee?
Nothing for this evening, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Next, Sewer and Water Report, trustee Navis Esparza.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the presentation of the December 2024 Brycer Monthly Activity Report, and also in 2024, the village reviewed 1986 backflow reports. That is an 8.1% increase from the previous year. I'm not sure if the Water Commissioner wanted to add any comments.
Good evening. So went through an onboarding training with the Brycer program that the fire department actually uses as long as the water department does as well. So moving forward, I'd like to just add that as part of our monthly presentation. And just a brief recap, that's what that was for last year. So moving forward, it looks like we're going to continue to inspect and review more and more backflow reports. So pretty straightforward and simple.
Very good. Andy, could you tell everybody real quick what a Brycer report is?
Brycer is the software program that we use to monitor the reports that come in. So when a backflow inspection comes in, it goes to the software program and they load it so that anyone who has access to it can review, approve, or deny the report that's come through. So we've been utilizing this program for several years. I want to say as far back as I can look was like 2014. So it's something we've utilized, and from what it sounds like, it's a really useful tool that everybody uses. So just
Right.
It's a really good way to communicate with the contractors, keeping track of the reports and stuff like that, and it's a really great tool.
Good, Chief.
They also, the way we have it set up is if they don't follow through, then they start getting notices that they have to get them done otherwise, and then they'll get the notice they're getting a municipal violation because of it also, so it's a way of tracking it. We do the same thing with our fire alarms and our sprinkler pumps with all of our businesses, so it works very well. It takes a lot of wear and tear out what both our fire prevention as well as the water department does, so it's a fee that's paid by the contractor as it is, so it doesn't cost the village anything.
Okay.
And it's just passed along from the businesses when they do the testing of the backflow devices.
Okay. Sounds good. Andy, is this you too? Did you want to show some on the TV?
Yeah, I can do it as part of the presentation, or I can do it now.
That's at the bottom under
Oh,
presentations.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
wanna
go ahead.
jump
It's a committee meeting. That's fine, sure.
I don't want to jump out of line.
No.
Okay. So this is a program that I would like to participate in. It's through the Illinois Section American Waterworks Association, so we already do a lot of work with that organization. They offer a lot of training. They offer licenserships and stuff. And with this Water Ambassador program, we're already doing like 90% of the work to qualify for this. So me and Erica have been working to kind of go through the last 10%, and she's done a great job of kind of outlining what the rest of this year will look like. So this is a yearly program that we can apply for, and after that 12 months, the village of Alsip will have the Water Ambassador accreditation. So it doesn't cost anything. It's just a little bit of extra work that we would have to put in for it. And it's very similar to the program of the Tree City USA. So that's the comparison they make. Tree City USA is for trees. This Water Ambassador program is for the water system. So just a couple-minute presentation with the elected official education portion of it. That's one thing that we can check off the list. And then there's mailings and stuff that we would have to send out, and I mean, it's pretty much done. So
Okay.
it's short, sweet, and to the point, so let's get going. We're looking to participate in the Ambassador program. We'll give you a quick overview of our water infrastructure and kind of the condition that we're in. So this is the Illinois Section American Waterworks Association. Like I said, it's a nonprofit organization that we already utilize a lot for. Offer education to water professionals, advocate for safe and sustainable water, collect and share knowledge, and create volunteering opportunities. And they're based in St. Charles, Illinois. The goal of the program is to elevate public perception, knowledge, and consumer education for the water industry, create content for member access, water education tools, and content to add to our established communication channels. And recognition is certification stickers are awarded to place on the Water Ambassador signs that we will get after the 12-month period. So when we qualify for this program, we can get signs for the different entry markers throughout the village, so that the public will know that we are Water Ambassador Village. These are the different standards that they have. We're going for number 4, the gold level. So we're doing the elected official education. We're doing the consumer education, the value of water program, and then you can see the 4 industry-related events, collaborations, and wild card postings. So with that, we have to send out notifications through mailings that we'll send as part of water billing, and then we have to post some stuff on Facebook too. So that's what the wild card requirements are. Just some of the regulations that we have to follow. We have to follow the Safe Water Drinking Act. That includes regular water quality testing. We already do all of this. We already take bacteria, lead and copper, disinfectant byproducts, and UCMR5 samples. And we also send out a annual consumer confidence report. We report to the IEPA for monitoring general and federal requirements with some additions to strengthen public health. We also report to the IDNR. They oversee the Lake Michigan water allocation and regulate water withdrawals from the other surface waters. And we also report to the Illinois Department of Public Health for water safety. So like I said, we're already doing a lot of this already, so it's a pretty easy process for us to do moving forward. Where we get water from is the Eugene Sawyer Water Purification Plant. That's the southern water treatment facility for the Department of Chicago. And the Village of Alsip, we're a Class C water facility, so that means that we can add chemicals to the water as it leaves the stations that we have in town. The only thing that we add currently is a little bit of chlorine. We could add fluoride if we needed to, but the fluoride levels are pretty good from the city of Chicago already. This is the Village of Alsip's infrastructure. We have one 1 million gallon reservoir. We have one 3.2 million gallon reservoir. The reservoirs are also called like pumping stations, so the 1 million gallon reservoir and or pumping station would be our south station, and the 3.2 million gallon reservoir is the north pumping station. We have two 1 million gallon elevated storage tanks. That's the south tank right there. We maintain 5,559 water meters. We also maintain 103.8 miles of water main ranging from 6-inch to 30-inch water main. There's 5,584 service connections in town, 1,410 fire hydrants, and 1,777 distribution valves. So each and every one of those things requires maintenance and planning and replacement at one point or in time or another. Infrastructure condition, one good thing to report is we have no lead service lines in town. I know there's a lot of other villages that are dealing with lead service line replacement, which has been mandated to be replaced. Some areas that need attention in our system, we have a 17.9 water loss rating. The IGNR would like that number to be under 10%. So because we are at over the 10% threshold, there are requirements that we have to follow to try and get that number down lower underneath the 10%. And one supply constraint we have is the only way we can purchase water is through the city of Chicago. So we're kind of at the mercy, thank you, the mercy of whatever they set the rate for. So if they decide they need to have a 15% increase for 1 year, we have to pay that. We can't go to another place and get water. So
That hasn't figured that out in Chicago yet. It's a good thing the guy in Chicago hasn't figured that one out.
yeah, right. So
They don't know.
ongoing infrastructure estimated costs over the next 4 years, it's roughly $5.5 million. And that's a rough estimation without adjustments for inflation, price increases for materials, goods, or services. And that's it.
Andy, can I ask you, what would you attribute the 17% water loss to?
So that includes any water main breaks that happen that's unaccounted for water loss. Theft is another big one. So anytime someone opens up a fire hydrant and withdraws water that's not metered, that's another big proponent that we have.
One side of Chicago, all them lawn companies are always stealing water over there.
Yep. So that's a big one for us.
Sometimes us, a little bit us.
A lot of it is.
A little bit.
A lot of it is.
17% though.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. A lot of what the loss is when there's little leaks on water mains that don't surface. So not like a full-blown water main break.
Okay.
But if there's a little leak that doesn't surface, that could go on for years without us being able to ever find it. So
A lot of the stuff we do for training, we usually let them know approximately how much water we use to account for some of the stuff that's lost.
Mm-hmm.
So anything with fire would be characterized as a loss if we're putting out a fire? Because who would get the bill for that?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So that would be a loss, something like that?
yeah,
It's
there's
not metered.
There's a part of the IDNR report where you can categorize different losses. So the fire department is accounted for but unbilled. So
Right.
we estimate roughly how much they use. When it comes to fires, that we don't really care about that because that's the reason the fire hydrant is there. So, but the fire department's been great about when they do training and stuff like that, letting us know so we can monitor that number better. When it comes down to it, whatever water goes through the city of Chicago's water meter, we have to pay that. So the higher the water loss that we have, that's just money that we're not getting in. So when it goes from the city of Chicago's water meter and it doesn't go through another water meter, like as a residence or a business, the village still has to pay for that. We're just not recouping 100%. We're only recouping, 80% of that water back.
So is that what the 17.9% is based on, the difference between City of Chicago bill and on our bills out?
In generality, yes. It's a little bit more complicated, but yeah, that's pretty much what that number represents.
And I only asked the question because you had brought it up, and it's a great stat. And, between, like you said, between what the fire department uses and, as you point out, the obvious, so too, and that's why I wanted, because we record these meetings, is these water main breaks. We do our very best to, every year, we allocate almost $1 million a year for water main replacement. But the lines we haven't gotten to yet are what they are.
Right.
And so what, on average, Andy, how many water main breaks you think that you've been here for? How long have you been with us now? 4 or 5 months?
Yep, coming up on 5 months.
Okay.
So we had 10 just this week.
10 just this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So there's your loss.
It's a pretty big number, and it adds up pretty quick. So we actually have a water main break going on right now on 127th Street. It's on a 16-inch water main, and we estimated that when it broke to right now, it went through 3 million gallons of water.
Gotcha.
So, it doesn't take very much for a lot of water to go down the drain, and that's...
Especially with a pipe, a 60-inch pipe, that's huge. There's a lot of volume there.
Yeah, so that's money that we're paying the city of Chicago for that we're not getting recouped on. So that money, that's literally going down the drain. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Well, obviously, is it fixed?
Hopefully in the next half hour I should get word if it's fixed. So
Okay.
It's a pretty decent job. So.
Yeah, let's say the 60-inch line's a big line.
Yep. So, yeah. Yeah, hopefully it goes real smooth. So it could be a little bit of a nightmare.
Understood. No, Andy, great presentation. Erica, thanks for helping them with that. You too. It looked good. And whatever you need from, if I can help you with that, please let me know and stuff then too.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds great.
Trustees, any questions for Andy on that? Thanks, Andy, for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll move forward with the rest of our reports. We'll go with Building and Health Committee.
Trustee Dalzell or McLaughlin?
No report.
Okay. Human Resource and Insurance, Trustee Murphy.
No report tonight, Mayor.
Okay. We'll go to our special committee reports, starting with Economic Development, Trustee Navas-Barza.
No report, Mayor.
Okay. And then we'll go to Village Property, Trustee McLaughlin.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Ordinance and Legislation Committee.
Trustee Dalzell or Navas Varza?
No report, Mayor.
Okay. And then next was Planning and Zoning and Licenses Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a presentation of a list of licenses dated January 13th of 2025 through January 24th of 2025. And within that list for this week, I would like to welcome Creative LED Signs and Printing, who will be located at 4839 West 128th Place. And they are listed as sign manufacturing and a general contractor. We'll be moving in at that location.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Very good. Thank you. Did anybody have any presentations, petitions, or communications they wanted to share? None? Anybody have any unfinished business they want to talk about? About any new business? All right. Then can I ask for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Time now is 8:06 p.m. And again, thank you for coming out with us and participating in tonight's meeting. Have a great night.